Hey guys, how's it going? Brad here. We're playing Battle for Azeroth. I am currently in Operation Mechagon, which is one of the Mechagon dungeons. There's two wings to the Mechagon dungeon. It's no longer mythic, it's now heroic as of the latest patch, and we are doing Junkyard. And it's an outdoor... dungeon, but there's a few things different than the actual outdoor Mechagon zone. So we have the HK8 aerial oppression unit. That's the last boss.
To prevent my father from eradicating all organic life, we need to gain entry into his subterranean fortress city. Luckily, the flying mechanical terror that patrols this region has a control module that can open the gates. Assaulting it head-on would be ill-advised, but disabling its remote power node should render it vulnerable.
So we have to kill the bosses that he's not hovering over.
I've calibrated my sensors to detect them when you're in proximity.
So we're gonna root around through the garbage, looking for nodes that may not even be there? All while avoiding a flying death machine so that we can break into a fortress that has even more death machines?
Your assessment is accurate.
So basically, whenever you come into this dungeon, apparently he changes locations, but the aerial unit, typically when I come in here, he's flying over Bondo's yard. So Bondo is one of the bosses. However, when the aerial unit's flying over him, you should stay away from that area. There's a lot of people that still don't quite get how this dungeon works. You can't just rush to the end to try to kill the boss. You'll get killed. It seems a little chaotic, this dungeon, but it's actually not. If you've played the Mechagon zone, it's the same layout. There's just different enemies. But it's not too hard to do. So right now we're going after the Trogg boss. There's basically what looks like a machinery contraption. It looks like a platform for landing ships, but it's actually the Trogg. I guess he's a Trogg king. The Trogg king's throne, really.
I'm detecting a power node within that Trogg den. I doubt they will relinquish it willingly.
You look to steal treasure? Troggs, bring me their stones!
So he'll keep hovering there until we disable, I think it's like a power source or something, the secondary power source. He'll actually fly back to the junkyard in order to recharge. And when he does that, that's when we have to fight him. Oh my god. The healer accidentally attacked an ad. He was trying to help us out while healing. Well, he doesn't really have to heal much. Even though he's got 3 melee. They're doing pretty well to not take too much damage. So even though this one's the outdoor dungeon, the indoor dungeon, which is the workshop, that's where you get inside Mechagon itself, the city. And that one is beautiful. That'll be the next video after this one. pretty straightforward mechanics other than the aerial unit. You just have to watch where he is on the map. Some players, they'll rush right to Bondo's yard to try to kill Bondo, but if the aerial unit's there, you'll get killed. He starts like doing AoEs on the ground, and he starts summoning all of these machines. You can't keep up.
You challenge me?
So it's best to stay away. He keeps summoning more and more ads. Other than keeping them off the healer, you can't possibly keep up with all the ads. It's impossible. And it seems like the tank doesn't realize he has to get the guy in the rust. I can't target him. So these guys will all despawn once we kill the boss, so they don't do a ton of damage, but if they gang up on the healer or something, they can kill him.
I will deactivate the node. Move with haste and locate the others. Proceed with caution. Mechagon's war machine appears to be changing course. Looks like it's headed for Scrapbone Den. Stay out of its sight.
Okay. They're a bit too close for comfort there. They took the shortcut. I tend to avoid this because we don't need to. So he moved to the Trogg area. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he'll stay over Bondo's yard. This is the first time I've seen him move.
There appears to be a power node within the vicinity of the scrapyard. You will need to employ violence.
What have we here? You folks must be lost. Not to worry. I'll fix you right up.
I've already told the tank that I can't target them when they're in the dust, and he's not moving them out of the dust. So I'm not going to repeat myself. He did see it, because he moved them out of the dust the first time I said it. Pistonhead mechanic. And he's got a posse with him. 4 guys. So if he'll keep dashing around on that bike trying to hit us. They're not hard to kill, there's just a lot of them. the healer is taking a lot of damage. I don't think this tank knows what he's doing. But oh well, what can you do? It might be his first time here, which is quite possible. He's just not pulling aggro.
Eat my dust! Crash and burn!
Or maybe it's the healer pulling aggro and he shouldn't be pulling aggro. That's possible too. Doesn't seem like he is, but could be.
You're gonna be roasted! Crossing the finish line!
The Junkers are no longer a threat. I can disable the node.
You have to go after
Proceed
Gunker.
with caution. Mechagon's war machine appears to be
Oh,
changing course.
maybe not. May not have to worry about Gunker at all. I think we should do him anyway, unless he heads for Gunker. It looks like he may be heading for Gunker. Depends on which way he turns. Nope. Wow, he's just running into everything. Kind of funny, I spent so much time in Mechagon, the zone itself, that this feels like they're playing in the zone, because it is the zone. But the mobs and everything are all hostile, all of them. And again, can't target, he's in Dust Storm. I don't know if it's dust or smoke. I think it's smoke. Yeah, it's smoke. Oh, they shrunk me. Oh, a mini lock. Oh, it was a mini lock. Okay, so basically we have to go after these slimes. They have a cleaning unit inside of each one of them. And there's
A power node
3
must
of
be
them.
located
There's
within
one
that
there,
slime.
and there's another one further over.
You will have to sanitize the area in order to
Sanitation
access it.
required.
And the boss is in that toxic pool just ahead of us. But we can't do anything about him until we clean up these guys.
Sensors recalibrated. Massive toxicity levels detected.
Okay, so it is possible I'm the only one who's done this dungeon before. I think
Sanitation
the
required.
healer has 2. I'm not 100% sure. He seems to know where he's going and where to stand, so I have a feeling he's done it before. He or she.
Mobility compromised. Sensors recalibrated. Massive toxicity levels detected.
And there's the other slime. He's in deep water.
Sanitation required.
Speed things up a little bit.
Error. Mobility compromised.
So some people will try to skip this particular boss, and they'll try to rush the aerial
System
unit,
restored.
but the aerial unit's now
Moving to
guarding the front
contamination
entrance
site.
to the junkyard, so you can't actually get there. They'll do the exact same thing. You'll see AoEs all around you, and you'll start summoning tons of ads, and you'll end up dying. You get overwhelmed very fast. And this is this boss. And we'll use him as a screenshot. He looks cool. It's not the final boss, but he looks cool. That's all that matters.
Sanitation required.
So these guys will walk around and they'll be cleaning up all the toxicity, but they get stuck in slimes. If you start seeing a lot of toxic goo all over the ground, just free them up out of the slimes. Usually we can kill the guy fast enough that we don't have to worry about it,
Required.
but he drops a lot of these toxic goo areas.
Toxic substances detected.
But we're gonna beat him. I'm trapped.
With that creature neutralized, I can deactivate the node. Exemplary work! With the power nodes inert, the machine will return to its hub to recharge. Now is our chance to disable it and acquire the access code.
By shutting down the power grid, Tinkmaster Overspark has turned the hunter into the hunted.
Splendid, Diva, but make sure you include a passage about my rugged fortitude. My readers deserve to know that I'm more than just my incredible brain.
Okay, really simple when fighting this guy. He'll create a ring, like a force field, that you can't leave. And even if you're outside of it, he'll pull you in. And you have to fight, usually there's like a single unit there that you have to kill. And then once you kill him, he'll come down and he'll start fighting you. You fight him, and then when you do enough damage, he'll actually drop this AoE. And when he drops the AoE, it'll start expanding dramatically over time. And what you basically have to do is you have to run up one of the ramps to the right of the screen, and you have to disable this power system. But there's a trick to it, because there's a little trap mechanism set up. It's not hard to do if you're just watching carefully. There's like a pattern to how you need to walk, because there's like beams that will repulse you, and you'll get electrocuted and stuff like that. And then you just have to channel for quite a while to disable the system.
Excellent. Target.
See, so even if you try to stay out, he'll suck you in.
All cannons, fire! All cannons, fire! Reinforcements to these coordinates. Prepare for annihilation!
There it comes. Gotta avoid that. We gotta run over here. And we gotta go through this puzzle. We have to get to that tower to disable the system. Oh, crap. I don't know where they are. So we're basically hacking the system. I'll channel it for as long as I can, but then when this guy comes around, I've got to run away from him. Unless there's a way to get around him. Sometimes there is, like now, but sometimes there's not. People keep getting hit. I'm almost done. Keep hacking. I can't believe I did practically all of that solo. And just like that, we are done. So it's pretty straightforward and pretty simple, as long as you watch what the aerial unit's doing on the map and watching where it goes so you don't get caught by it. And with that, we are done. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for hanging in there to the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell button so you know when I post the next video. And don't forget to comment and let me know what you thought of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.